Hey everyone, hope you all are doing well. Another New York Mets franchise mode coming your way, as last game definitely was a bit of a rough one. I can't believe the same exact thing happened with Mets. I just can't get over it. That's like I'm cruising with him, doing really well. All of a sudden, couple of hits, couple of weird plays, and boom, the game is tied and I blow the lead. And you know what? Just again, with me stranding base runners, multiple base runners. It's like I'm stranding one guy. It's like I'm stranding two guys. I'm stranding the bases loaded, and it's inning after inning after inning. And it ends up hurting me in the long run. And then Justin Wilson wasn't his normal self in the bullpen. And, I can't really blame too much on the players. A lot of it is me. But there definitely are some things about this game that make it, hard to overcome. But we always try the best we can. As the final game of this series against the Atlanta Braves, Rick Porcello going up against Mike Soroka. So hopefully I can get another good inning out of Rick Porcello. As I've said before, he's kind of been my most reliable pitcher, honestly, when you think of how it has gone this season, just with all the inconsistencies, especially someone like Steven Matz, what happened yesterday. Just the way it's like, boom, he's out of it. And looking at this lineup, oh my goodness, everyone is tired. Okay, so this is the lineup that I'm going to have to run with. I really hate the 7 and 8 combination of Nunez and Tomasino. I still don't have a hit with Nunez in 20 at-bats. And Tomasino, I think I have like one hit in 10 at-bats. I was that one pinch hit double when I was trying to pinch run, all that craziness. But let's see what happens. Let's hope for the best. I mean, look at the Braves lineup. The thing is that their bench is honestly pretty good. And it's definitely one of the better benches I've seen yet, honestly, when I think of Ender Inciarte, and you have Adam Duvall, and then you will have somebody like, I don't know, Charlie Culberson will be in there. I mean, you have Travis d'Arnaud as your other catcher. Like, it's not a bunch of no-names. Like, they do have some quality players on there. So, I mean, you just get why the Atlanta Braves are a good team. Like, you know what? They've won the division past couple of years, and they keep making, moves to try to make their team better and just be a win-now team. So, I mean, that's what their team should be like. They're a team that is ready to compete, so that's why they have an all-around roster. Something that the Mets still has evaded them. Daniel Freer, that's another good name on their bench. Obviously, a former Met who definitely was better for the Braves than he was with the Mets. And this whole thing of like a contract bonus and whatever, him getting an extra $1 million, but the Mets cut him before he could get it. So it's like so much drama that goes on with the Mets. It's like unnecessary drama with, money and payroll and all that stuff. Like, we know how cheap they are. And, that's why this whole thing of, like, when the Mets were originally supposed to be sold to Steve Cohen, it was such a huge thing, like, for the fans, you know what I mean? Like, it would be such a major difference, probably the biggest difference the team could possibly make. It's bigger than them making, like, a big free agency signing or a big-time trade, because it's like, you know what? Now we know that because of the ownership being changed, that there will be big name signings, big time trades, moves like that. Not having to worry about, oh, let's cut a Daniel Faria instead of giving him $1 million. Like, stuff like that, you don't have to worry about that anymore. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, the deal is falling through, and now Manfred doesn't think that Cohen will ever own a team and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, but don't worry, the Mets will still be sold. They're going to have an auction or whatever. And, like, we haven't heard anything since. And because of this whole sports on hold, I don't know when we will hear anything, but I mean, really have to hope that the Mets do in fact get sold, because it's just like, it would definitely make the team a lot more competitive. And it was just better for us, because the thing that I don't like is that, I like going to the Met games. It's definitely a lot of fun, but it isn't cheap. You know what I mean? Like, it definitely costs a good amount of money to go, with all the stuff that, comes with the game, like transportation and possibly food, and Jeff McNeil bobbling balls to second base, and just all the stuff that goes on during the baseball game. But still, it's like, the thing is, we're giving them all of our money, and it doesn't really feel like they're giving us all their money. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like they're going all out for us. That there definitely is more that they could do, but they fail to do it, and that's always frustrating as Met fans. So, I mean, that would be the big thing of why I would like to see the ownership be changed. Why pretty much everybody would. I don't think I've seen anyone that's like, no, the Mets should, just keep the ownership they have and, not change it at all. Like, you don't hear that. So it's pretty obvious. 1-2 from Porcello, struck him out. So, I mean, we give up a run. You know what? The Braves have a big-time lineup. A guy like Ozzie Albies is going to give you some trouble. Yeah, Freddie Freeman is going to put the ball in play. So is Nick Markakis. So always a tough lineup to navigate around. And the thing is that, like I've said before, You know, Rick Porcello had a 5-point-something ERA last year. And the thing is that Porcello gives up runs. Even in his Cy Young season, his ERA wasn't the twos. He's just a pitch-to-contact kind of guy, so he will give up runs. And that's something that the Mets have to get used to. Like, the offense can't fall asleep like the way I do every game. Like, they have to be ready for that. Know that, okay, well, you know what? Porcello will be competitive. He'll go pretty deep into the game. But it's like, we need to score runs because he gave up runs. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the way it goes. 1-2 from Porcello. Fly it out to right field. Conforto, easy. Oh boy, I'm dropping it. There it is. That ball moved around a lot, honestly. I don't know if it was the wind or something, but that was crazy. I was not catching that. You know good and well I was not catching that. Not me, man. Maybe somebody else, but not me. Outfield defense is just too hard. Like, I don't even know, man. Why does it have to move around so much? You know, thinking about the umpire and how often they rob me, it made me think about the fact that there's this idea that because of the Arizona League, and you know, they are worried about umpires since they are an advanced age and they may have some other health conditions and whatnot, that they could be more at risk, that if they were to catch any kind of COVID-19, that it would affect them a lot more than it would a professional athlete. So they're considering, you know, maybe no umps, maybe the robot umpire, the electronic strike zone. And this would give baseball an excuse to do it because it's like even in normal baseball, they have talked about doing that, about having this electronic umpire. And it's just like if they were to do the electronic ump to the Arizona League, it proves my point even more that with all the different things they have to change with this, with the 7-inning doubleheaders and everyone being in the same stadium, no fans there, players out in the bleachers 6 feet apart, robot umpires. I mean, you just go on and on with all the changes that they're making to a normal baseball game. I just don't think it's going to feel that much like baseball anymore. It's going to be so different than what we're accustomed to. It's literally going to be guy pitches ball, guy hits ball, they catch ball or they don't catch ball, and the umpire can't rob you. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't going to be much excitement. There's not going to be handshakes. It's not going to be having fun. Obviously, there's not going to be a crowd cheering. There's not going to be... Is there going to be stadium noises like da-da, da-da? You know, are we going to hear that kind of stuff? I don't know. It's just going to be so different. So, that's why, I mean, for me... I mean, obviously, I'd like to have baseball back. I'd like for Michael Conforto to be able to catch balls in the outfield. But, I don't know. It's just like, if it's not the real baseball anyway... It's like, is it really worth it? I don't know. Because to me, I just feel like, you know, you ask me, do you want to watch baseball, yes or no? The answer is obviously yes. But do I want baseball players to kind of suffer where, like I said, they're isolated and everything and the 115-degree weather doubleheaders in Arizona? No, I don't want that. I want it to be enjoyable for the baseball players. I want them to have fun and enjoy doing what they're doing because if the baseball players aren't having fun playing, how could I have fun watching them play? You know what I mean? I just feel like that's a whole nother element that you're taking out of the game. So, again, to me, I just think it's too much change with the current plan they have in place. And I get it. You know what I mean? I understand why they want to bring baseball back, but I just don't think the conditions are right. There's one in the strike zone. Alonso drives. That's the effort. I don't know if I would make it. I don't think I would. I would have been so out. Oh, it's tough. We don't have a lot of speed. I mean, the same thing would have happened with Ramos, so I can't really complain. It's tough. And I feel like I had to be late on that pitch because with his slider, I mean, speaking of which, I have good time on the slider. Can't put it in contact. But it's just that with his slider, I have to let it move through the strike zone because if I swing when I first get in the strike zone, I'm going to miss it because it ends up out of the strike zone. So I have to stay back a little bit just in case it's the slider. Then he throws an inside fastball on me and I'm screwed.
The count is 1-2.
Can Cespedes come through and finally get a big hit for us? I've been waiting for this guy to do something big. Ooh. I was afraid that was going to drop right back in the strike zone. They tend to do that. They'll get me with the high off-speed pitch. I was hoping that would hit me so I could just get on the board. Alright, we got to send the merry-go-round in motion. Big at-bat here, I'm telling you. Cespedes drives it. Deep left field. Back goes Duvall. Back at the wall. It's out of here. Grand slam for Yoenis Cespedes. His first home run of the year. Finally getting a big hit with Cespedes. finally driving in some base runners with 2 outs in a 3-2 count. Definitely a big homer for Yoenis Cespedes. Nicely done. And you know what? It's just that Cespedes is going to be a big part of this team no matter where they play. I mean, this is a guy who, you know, like I say, is in the walk year. We know the difference he's made on this team. Like, the Mets record with him or without him is drastically different. Cespedes equals wins. I always say it in my regular YouTube videos, but it's just so important to keep that in mind. The Mets need more wins, and Cespedes helps you do that. So you want a healthy Cespedes, because if he produces offensively with the arm he has in left field, he can just do a lot of things. He provides that protection that I've talked about for Brandon Nimmo, that, like, when Alonso's batting after Nimmo, I just feel like Nimmo just gets some pitches to hit because you don't want to walk him and face Alonso. And the same thing could be said for Yoenis Cespedes. Cespedes could provide that protection for the batter in front of him. And if that person just so happens to beat Pete Alonso, wow, that's quite the combination you got there. As Conforto goes up the middle, that shift is so annoying. Good squared up. Can Conforto beat it out? He can. Nice to have a little bit of youth on your side. And that's the thing about these Braves, man. You can't relax. You can't get comfortable because they could get back in the game in a hurry. One of the ones that really comes to mind to me is that game where the Mets were up by a bunch of runs. It was the 9th inning, so Mickey Callaway went to one of the minor league relievers. I want to say this time it was Drew Gagnon, as Tomas Neal couldn't throw to Acuna, but it was Drew Gagnon, and all of a sudden it was just like home run, home run, home run. Like all these guys, Donaldson and Freeman, all them hitting just back-to-back home runs. And boom, the Atlanta Braves were right in the game as Conforto's throw is so offline. Oh my goodness, are you serious? I should have thrown to the cutoff, man. I have to get used to doing that. But just the way, like, boom, the Braves were right back in the game, like, so fast, too. Like, that's what their line could do, as you see right now. I mean, they're just crawling right back in it. Tough lineup. Nunez, his first hit of the season. Wow. I got jammed. It was a blooper, but you know what? A hit is a hit. So first one for Ador Nunez. Throw the ball into the dugout. Let's keep it and put it in a trophy case or something. I don't know. About time. Oh, that's another slow one. Nito throws in the outfield. Okay, Ramos, I didn't know that was you playing. I mean, isn't Tomas Nito supposed to be known for his defense? Come on. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my God, I should be out of the inning. And he just decides to throw it in the outfield. I'm just going to take it myself. Oh my gosh, man. They make this game too stressful. They really do. Not what I need. Alonso gets a slider right down the middle with good timing. That's out of here. Goodbye, home run. I'm telling you, man, when you get Alonso some pitches to hit, if I could get his timing down, that ball is gone. Like, that's just how good Pete Alonso is as a power hitter. And you know what? That's how you hit 53 home runs. You just hit a lot of home runs. That's how it happens, you know? I wish I could give you this in-depth explanation into the analytics and metrics of why Alonso hits home runs. But listen, dude has power. Pitcher throws ball that is easy to hit. Alonso hits it with, you know, just good barrel on the bat. And goodbye baseball. That's really all there is to it. Not much to explain. Always nice when it happens, though. Definitely in real life. And for me, in the video game. Makes me feel a little better about the stress I have to deal with Tomas Nito throwing the ball in the outfield. I mean, the thing is, like, Ramos, I can't say he's allowed to throw the ball in the outfield, but it's not as bad because, you know, every now and then he gets me some hits, he draws walks or whatever, but when Nito does it, it's like, all right, this isn't cool because you're a guy that Cespedes hits another one deep left field, back at the wall, it's out of here, back-to-back home runs from Pete Alonso and Yoenis Cespedes. Yoenis Cespedes' second home run of the season and his second home run of the night, and all of a sudden it's now 6-3 New York as we have gotten our 3-run lead right back. Nicely done by the offense. That's what I was saying earlier in the video. Like, that combination of Alonso Cespedes could do some pretty dangerous things. Those are two power right-handed hitters. So definitely nice you can have those two guys in the lineup because they can do stuff like that. All of a sudden, boom, boom, that's 2 runs. So that definitely was nice from Cespedes. This one took a little bit to get out. I mean, Duvall was getting under it. He stopped at the wall. He looked like, look, he looked like he's about to catch it. See? Then he made that leap. No baseball for you. That's a homer. Almost, but not quite. And they're going to a new pitcher. They're going to Sean Newcomb. All right. No more Soroka. Wow, Newcomb is tired. Look at that. Wearing out that bullpen. I'm trying my best.
The right fielder, number 30, Michael.
He's already tired after the first pitch. It's kind of like what happened with Will Smith the other night, where he threw one pitch and boom, he was injured and out for the game. And I'm pretty sure the next game yesterday, they didn't even use him when they were in a safe situation. So I don't know how injured he is, but that definitely helps me out not having to face him. But I'm sure, you know, the Braves are hoping that Will Smith stays healthy and that something like that does not happen. That would definitely be a big loss for him, considering, you know, how much they paid him in the offseason. Because we know how important bullpen is in this division. Because if hitters get, you know, pitches right down the middle, get good timing and can't hit it, you know, you need your good relievers. Ay, ay, ay. Yes, are we gonna hear a cowbell, you know, in these Arizona games? Like, I don't think so. You know what I mean? That's another element of baseball you lose. You just lose everything. Oh, thank you, umpire, finally. Give me a call. Oh, Braves manager does look happy. Look at that face. Nice staying calm. He didn't say anything. But it feels a little better. Not drastic, but a little better. As no, okay, never mind. Oh, God. Wait, I wasn't ready. Get out. Oh, did you see that the ball was not there at first? I thought it was a home run, and then all of a sudden it popped back up. I had already thrown the controller down thinking it was a home run. But, I mean, I don't know if... Maybe it's just Betances, honestly. Like, I could blame Classic, I could blame Meter, but maybe Del Betances just cannot command pitches and continues to throw it all over the place, whether it's way out of the strike zone or just right down the middle when I have no intentions of throwing it there. I'm kind of curious to see how Luis Rojas does use Betances. Like, will he have a set inning? I mean, like, will Betances be the 7th inning guy? Will Betances be the 8th inning guy? Will he eventually become the closer if someone like Diaz struggles or there's, God forbid, injuries or something like that? Will Del Betances be a guy that goes 2 innings? All stuff to consider. You know what I mean? Like, Del Betances obviously never been a Met, and we don't know how Luis Rojas is going to utilize him. So I think that's going to be important. And obviously just that, you know, I say it all the time, but it's worth reiterating just how important the bullpen is for the Mets. And I said it in the Brewers series, one of the games where, like, in 2015, the bullpen really cost the Mets the World Series. So it's like they've been trying to fix it, kinda, not really. They haven't really, again, gone all in, like I said at the beginning of the video. And it's just like, obviously we know how bad the bullpen was last year, causing them a playoff spot. And the one move they made was to sign Del Betances. So, I mean, they're really relying on this guy to do a lot and really fix the bullpen. And obviously, they are hoping and relying on a lot of improvement from within, particularly on guys like Diaz and Familia to bounce back, because I think that's been the most frustrating part about this, is that it's not like Familia and Diaz are minor league no-name pitchers, which, I mean, they kind of pitch like the way the minor leaguers do, but these guys were brought in the offseason with expectations. Like, Jeurys Familia was the Mets closer in their World Series run, and he was really, really good up until the World Series and obviously the wild card game the year after that. But it's just like, okay, well, they had traded him the year before, and he did well with Oakland as the center man, so they're asking him to do the same thing. And that did not happen at all. And then obviously Edwin Diaz, here's a guy who was the best closer in baseball, it seemed, getting a crazy number of saves. Then he comes to the Mets, and this guy can't lock down a save. He was just so inconsistent and unreliable. So it's just the fact that these guys did not meet expectations and underachieved so drastically. That's what really made it so bad. It's that, like, it's not like, oh, well, we know Familia and Diaz are supposed to be bad. Like, no, they're supposed to both be really good. And that just didn't happen. So, I mean, obviously we're hoping that the same does not happen with Del Betances, because that would really be a tragedy. The Mets would really be in a lot of trouble, especially if Familia and Diaz do not bounce back. As Alonso hits a hard one on the ground, good timing, 3 outs. Yeah, you know what? I'm hoping that Seth Lugo can be locked down again, because I feel that, obviously, with the bullpen struggles the Mets had, he was so important. You think of all the games that he bailed the Mets out. He would go 2 innings so often. He would be brought into these really difficult situations and just serve up leadoff home runs to Freddie Freeman. Oh, my God. How far did he hit that? Holy moly. He's such a pain. But anyway, I'm curious to see what Lugo's role is going to be like as well. Is he also going to be in that fireman role, the, you know, as they call it, Andrew Miller role, the emergency role, where it's like, okay, there's a huge situation right now, whatever it is, 7, 8, or 9, it's time to go to Lugo. I feel like he's suited for that role just because he's such a good pitcher and he doesn't lose his command like the way Familia and Betances do. So he is good for that kind of scenario. But I'm curious to see what they do with him. I mean, it would have been nice, like, if the Mets did address the bullpen enough to where Seth Lugo can be a starting pitcher, which he should be all along, and he wants to be, but he can't if he's getting back-to-back home runs. Oh my gosh. While I was praising Lugo, don't get me wrong, he definitely had his bad outings. Obviously, the ones against Chicago and Philadelphia, where it was kind of just like 1 week in general, pretty sure it was in July, where, I mean, Lugo definitely was bad, and he blew some games for the Mets, and obviously they were big ones, you know what I mean? But all in all, I will say, especially compared to everybody else, he did do pretty well. What are they going to now? Chris Martin. Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm not ready. I want to pinch hit here so badly. I'm doing it. I'm not ready, I said. You know, if you want to walk me, go ahead, actually. I want to pinch hit Cano here and then have Rosario take over defensively or something. Unless Ron Nunez could drive one. Right field. Pretty deep. That's deep enough to get the run in, so he got the job done. I'll take a sacrifice fly. We need all the runs we can get to give Diaz a little more cushion. Just in case of any hiccups. 1-2 from Diaz. Struck out Marcell Ozuna, out number 1. 2-2 from Diaz. Struck him. Now back-to-back punch-outs from Edwin Diaz to start off the 9th inning. Braves are down to their last strike. Here is the 1-2 from Edwin Diaz. Slider right down the middle. Struck him out. Got him looking. Ball game over. And the ball game is over. Put it in the books. The New York Mets win 7-5 against the Atlanta Braves to win the series and take 3 out of 4. Pretty nice game, I guess. I mean, it definitely had its hiccups. Definitely blew the lead twice. But the offense was able to prevail, courtesy of Yoenis Cespedes hitting 2 huge home runs for me, and then scoring another run on the sacrifice fly. So definitely a good game for him. Finally, Alonso hit a home run. So we'll definitely take this victory. I really wish that Lugo didn't go up those 2 home runs. That really hurt because I was raving about him and really expect more of him. I mean, they are 2 good hitters, and I threw it down the middle twice, which I obviously wasn't trying to do, but luckily, Edwin Diaz was able to lock it down, and we come out of here with a victory. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment on anything I said in the video, or just anything going on in general. Subscribe to keep up with anything going on. And until the next one, be safe, be smart, be healthy, and have a good one, everybody.